X-Men 2000 begins its narrative by introducing audiences to a world where humans and mutants exist side by side, albeit with considerable tension and fear. The opening scene is a flashback to World War II, where a young Erik Lehnsherr's mutant powers manifest for the first time as he bends metal gates in a concentration camp. This traumatic event plants the seeds for his future as Magneto, a powerful mutant with a deep distrust of humanity. Meanwhile, in the not-so-distant future, society grapples with the implications of the mutant phenomenon, leading to heated debates over the Mutant Registration Act, a proposed law that would force mutants to reveal their identities and powers to the government. This backdrop of fear and discrimination sets the stage for the central conflict of the film, highlighting the themes of prejudice and acceptance that resonate throughout the storyline. The narrative then shifts to introduce Rogue, a young mutant who discovers her life-draining abilities in a traumatic incident with her boyfriend. Fleeing from home, she crosses paths with Logan, also known as Wolverine, a gruff and enigmatic mutant with a mysterious past and extraordinary healing abilities. Their journey is abruptly interrupted by an attack from Sabretooth, one of Magneto's henchmen, leading to their rescue by Cyclops and Storm, members of the X-Men. This encounter brings Rogue and Wolverine to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, a haven for mutants run by Professor Charles Xavier. Here, Wolverine learns about the X-Men, a team of mutants dedicated to protecting both humanity and mutants from threats and striving for peaceful coexistence. Professor Xavier, a powerful telepath, believes in the potential for harmony between humans and mutants, and he forms a stark ideological contrast to Magneto, who views humanity as a threat that must be confronted with force. Magneto's plan involves using a machine to mutate world leaders, intending to force them to accept mutants by turning them into mutants themselves. However, this plan is fraught with danger, as the machine's radiation is lethal to humans. Magneto's motivations are further complicated by his personal history and the loss he endured during the Holocaust, providing a nuanced portrayal of a character driven by both trauma and a desire for survival. The X-Men, consisting of Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and Wolverine, must race against time to stop Magneto's plan from coming to fruition. Their mission leads them to the Statue of Liberty, where Magneto intends to launch his machine during a summit of world leaders. The ensuing battle showcases the X-Men's teamwork and abilities, with each member playing a vital role in thwarting Magneto's scheme. Wolverine's bravery and resourcefulness shine through as he confronts Sabretooth and aids in disabling the machine, ultimately saving Rogue, who had been captured to power Magneto's device. The climactic showdown highlights the film's action-packed sequences while reinforcing the underlying message of unity and sacrifice. In the aftermath of the conflict, the film concludes with a tentative sense of hope and resolution. Rogue decides to stay at Xavier's School, finding a sense of belonging and acceptance among her fellow mutants. Wolverine, still haunted by his past, sets off to uncover the truth about his origins but leaves with a newfound sense of purpose and connection. Meanwhile, Xavier and Magneto have a poignant exchange in a plastic cell, where Magneto is imprisoned, yet unyielding in his beliefs. Their conversation underscores the ongoing ideological divide between them and sets the stage for future confrontations. X-Men 2000 not only revitalized the superhero genre, but also laid the foundation for an expansive cinematic universe, leaving audiences with thought-provoking themes and memorable characters that continue to resonate today. When X-Men hit theaters in 2000, it wasn't just a blockbuster, it was a watershed moment for the superhero genre. One of the most interesting behind-the-scenes secrets involves the casting of Wolverine. Initially, actor Doug Ray Scott was cast in the role, but due to scheduling conflicts with Mission Impossible 2, he had to drop out. This twist of fate opened the door for Hugh Jackman, who was relatively unknown at the time, to take on the iconic role. Jackman's casting turned out to be serendipitous, as he would go on to become synonymous with Wolverine, playing the character for nearly 2 decades. Jackman even had to wear a special shoe lift to match the comic book character's imposing presence, considering Wolverine's height in the comics is 5 feet 3 inches compared to Jackman's 6 feet 2 inches. Among the many trivia morsels that pepper the film's production, the X-Men costumes presented a particular challenge. The filmmakers opted for sleek black leather suits instead of the colorful costumes from the comics, a decision that was initially controversial among fans but ultimately set a precedent for many superhero films that followed. The change was made to give the film a more grounded and serious tone, contrasting the often flamboyant style of traditional superhero outfits. Interestingly, the choice was also a nod to practicality. The leather suits were more suited to the intense physical demands of the action sequences. The decision to forego the traditional yellow spandex was even humorously referenced in the film, with Cyclops quipping, "What would you prefer, yellow spandex?" Easter eggs are a staple of superhero films, and X-Men is no exception. Observant fans might notice several nods to the comic book lore throughout the film. One particularly subtle Easter egg occurs when Wolverine is first introduced fighting in a cage match. The cage door features the word cage, a clever homage to the Marvel character Luke Cage, who is also known for his fighting skills. Another nod is found in the scene where Mystique infiltrates Cerebro. As she scrolls through the computer files, the names of several iconic mutants from the comics, including Omega Red and Muir Island, make brief appearances, hinting at the expansive universe that fans would eventually see unfold in later films. On a deeper psychological level, X-Men explores themes of prejudice and acceptance, drawing parallels between the mutant experience and real-world issues of discrimination. The film portrays mutants as marginalized individuals, often feared and ostracized by society due to their differences. This narrative struck a chord with many viewers, as it mirrored historical and ongoing struggles faced by various minority groups. The characters of Professor X and Magneto, portrayed by Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, respectively, embody contrasting responses to this discrimination. Professor X advocates for peaceful coexistence and understanding, while Magneto, shaped by his traumatic past, believes in a more aggressive approach to ensure mutant survival. Their ideological conflict adds a layer of complexity to the film, elevating it beyond a simple good versus evil narrative. The impact and legacy of X-Men extend far beyond its initial release, as it paved the way for the modern superhero film era. Prior to X-Men, superhero movies were largely seen as risky ventures, often relegated to camp or niche markets. However, the film's success demonstrated that there was a robust audience for more mature and serious takes on comic book material, leading to a surge in similar projects. This shift ultimately contributed to the eventual establishment of entire cinematic universes, such as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has become a dominant force in the film industry. X-Men also helped showcase the potential for ensemble casts in superhero films, proving that multiple characters could share the screen without diluting the storyline. Reflecting on X-Men over 2 decades later, it's clear that the film not only entertained, but also inspired a generation of filmmakers and audiences alike. Its blend of action, drama, and social commentary set a new standard for the genre, one that continues to influence superhero narratives today. The film also reignited interest in comic book adaptations, leading to the growth of a global fan base that eagerly anticipates each new installment in the genre. As the superhero film landscape continues to evolve, the pioneering role of X-Men remains undeniable, serving as a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring appeal of characters who, despite their extraordinary abilities, grapple with deeply human struggles.